11 a.m. EST time for Mike and me. Mike, I hope you had a good holiday. Pretty thin action, but strong market again. Melt up has become the majority opinion here. Santa is still driving his sled. I guess he didn't deliver it. He didn't get to my house and drop.
Yeah, he didn't get it back in time for the rental. He got charged overage.
Yeah, yeah, he still has to drop off some coal at my house, so maybe he'll be here today.
I'm just
But yeah,
worried about all the new clothes that I get, about the superstition. One of my aunts hasn't given me a lucky piece of clothing in about since like Reagan was in office. So every
oh wow,
wearing a new
yeah.
piece of, and I'm superstitious. I just want to get it all over with. So
All
I wear
right, so
everything
you're
new at
wearing
once.
everything.
I wear everything new at once. So if I have a bad
Uh,
day, I throw everything out at once. So
Good
it doesn't go.
strategy. I tell you what, you know how to manage clothing risk like no other trader
I
I've ever
appreciate
talked
it.
to.
Well, yes.
Because I've never heard of clothing risk, but it's out there. I just wanted to follow through with our viewers on Apple, which I started talking about last week. And the market had a good week. Apple didn't. The market's strong again today. Apple isn't. And everyone owns Apple in one form or another, Mike, whether it's individual as a stock or in a fund, in an ETF, whatever. But just a quick review, because last time we talked was Thursday,
Sure.
so you don't know if you have a weekly reversal till Friday. And we had a 2 week reversal, closed under the prior 2 week close. Um, there
And
was
I and I
glaring.
and I had pointed out that it was. I said to you, not facetiously, but it was looking like the megas were resting. And I said, "Well, coach, it's easy to point out a weak stock and a strong tape, and
Yeah,
that actually came to fruition. The weak stock, it still
yeah,
did.
yeah, and compared to when it traded almost 200 last July, the RSI didn't even get to 70. So I'm not saying it's a major top, but I would watch this right now. To me, it looks a little bit like Wile E. Coyote sitting on the ledge.
It is.
And then if we take that out, the next level is 87 and a half, and then the 200 at 180. If we take out 180, the door is wide open. But I'm just wondering if it can't perform with the market blowing off and melting up, what's going to happen if the market ever corrects within the next millennium.
That's true.
So that's
If you
something.
got it, if you got it now,
Yeah,
you certainly got to ride it out. If you got
yeah.
it.
And then just a dollar, and I'll go into it more on my video tomorrow on the live stream tomorrow. I've been talking about par 90, so that's about 60, 70 points from here. Could still happen. That would still be, kind of positive for everything, including metals. But this is a level I've been talking about for a while. The reason it means something to me is that's where we had a false breakdown and then the dollar ripped. So see this line here? This was a false breakdown, and then we had this huge rally in the dollar.
It definitely was
Uh,
an important point, no
yeah,
question.
so it looks like we'll revisit it, and
Yeah.
a lot of the currencies I talked about have reached targets I talked about 2 weeks ago. So with that being
And you know
said,
what? You know what, Coach? It really wasn't that bumpy of a ride for you either
no, it
within
was
2 weeks. I mean, considering the
yeah,
market, it held true. It held the plan held true, is what I was
yeah.
saying throughout that 2 weeks. There really wasn't any trepidatious moments.
Yeah, I mean, you had to be a little patient to wait for the dollar to weaken, but
Well,
that it did. And I actually down here, Mike, I'll become a contrarian again in the dollar.
I'll join you.
I think we're going to have a nice dollar low and potentially a rally back to above the highs that we put in
That'd be a
weeks
nice
ago.
trade, Coach. Whoa.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
something I'm looking at in the next few weeks. Looking to get long dollars for a trade. And I think that's really about all I want to cover, except, things are heating up in the Middle East. I didn't even pay attention this weekend, but I heard there was, some direct Iranian involvement with a missile attack.
I
And
did. I did.
Okay, so I mean, crude, this is a real big trend line. A friend of mine showed me, and there's so much confluence here that you can't ignore it. See this downtrend it's been in since the fall?
Right.
Okay, so both the downtrend line, the 50-day and the 200-day all intersect just above where the market is. So
And what price is that, Coach? 77 and change?
yeah, it looks like 77 and a half.
I'll take it either way.
Okay, so
Just
above that,
alert,
above,
alert set. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's all right. So just wanted to, alert people to something that might be changing. And, the most controversial call I think anyone could make for 2024,
Is long crude.
controversial,
Long crude
5% high in the 10-year yield
is top.
is not the high,
Right.
right? I mean,
Oh,
everyone
Coach,
said,
I love it. I would love it. Oh,
isn't it like almost 100%
you get
consensus
odds on
view?
that. Listen, on Vegas, you get better odds than the move that you would here.
Let's do it. Call your bookie, buddy. So anyway, I think, it'll
I am
take
the
some
book.
time and we could still work lower first. I'm thinking 360, but when you look at a weekly, you have two drives, right? So, if my work pans out, here's
No, it's
drive
not.
one, here's
If you
drive
look
two,
left, if you
that
look
we
left,
get, yeah, we get one more shot up in yields. This, that happened in the 70s. They had to tighten, then inflation cooled a bit, and they were able to, take their foot off the brake, and then inflation came back, and they had to tighten again. Then it cooled a bit, and then Volcker came in and electrocuted and lynched inflation with 20% rates. But it took three times. This may just be the first go around for the Fed in a tightening cycle that could last a decade. So, that's something that I'm going to be paying attention to this year. And I'm wondering, Alexis said you were kind of busy today.
matter of
So,
fact, I'm buying more Minnesota mining as I speak. The symbol's MMN on the New York Stock Exchange.
okay, I'm going to give you the charts. I'm still not adding to my minor position. I still think I'm going to be able to buy this one down here.
Newmont Mining is one of my top trades going forward. I'm on the record.
Okay, so
I
here's
have no problem saying it now or in month January or even whenever.
all right. I think there's going to be a pullback in Newmont too.
I hope
Uh,
so. I don't have
yeah,
enough.
and GDX, and
My
I think
number
a few
two, my number two, coach. Look at this. I want your opinions because this. I'm giving. I'm not giving low floaters. It's not really my style.
3M.
3M. That's my pick of the year,
Okay, so where's that at?
and I am in it.
And what is that? Just 3Ms?
Yeah, Minnesota Mining. You might have heard of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Big Scotch tape.
My father-in-law worked for them his whole career.
You're
Um,
kidding me.
yeah.
Wow.
So
My dad rode
it's
for one of my dad's biggest outfits he ever rode for was that the Bingers, right? That's the name of
okay.
it.
Yeah, so there it is,
Look
about to
left.
form. Yeah, look left.
Yeah, keep going.
All right, hold on. Let me put in a longer time. I'll
Tesla
put
looking.
the weekly on.
Oh,
Okay, all right here. So one over 110, it's gonna blow. Is that the way you're seeing it?
I'm not looking at even at 110. I'm looking at that. This one's I'm socking with this one. I like this one. Yeah,
130.
yeah.
Okay,
I like Newmont. I like 3M. What else am I
okay.
buying? You said I'm busy today. Yeah.
Didn't
I'm
you
buying, you know what
also
I'm
do
buying more? I'm
Boeing? Were you buying Boeing too
no
last week
CF.
or?
CF I'm buying. Remember
Oh
the
yeah, that agricultural company. I'm
and
going
I'm
to give
buying
you the chart so you could
we
just.
have that great guest of yours coming up too that made a killer.
Oh yeah, Hugh Henry will be here the 10th of January.
Great
He'll
name.
be with us.
Hugh Henry.
Yeah, he used to be one of the bigger hedge fund guys. I forgot who his boss was, but
No,
he's
good.
kind
Listen,
of an icon in the
really.
trading
Well,
business.
another one. Look at Boeing right now. Another homage to your quality
Oh yeah, there it
uh,
is.
of
That's
your
what.
people that you get on, Coach.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to minimize that. Another homage to the quality of people that you get on here. As a matter of fact, I start the whole trading week off saying it's a, you know what? Let me go in and start a couple of things on Monday because it's Monday. We'll look at Boeing. No, I didn't buy Boeing yet.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, I
It's
apologize.
easy to get confused in the holiday period.
I got 9 things going in my head at one point.
Okay.
Uh, and we'll lead off Monday with another paying homage to a guest of ours as a Monday tradition. We'll start with some of our macro charts from your guest, TGH Lean. So there we go. Look
Yeah.
at the charts and all the big daddies, if you will. Then we start to zero in on everything that's going on throughout the week. Basically some cocktail conversation peaches. The Dow is its third most overbought levels. It's not just the U.S. that's in a bull market. Stocks are in a bull market here. The strongest bull names around the world. That's a great list, by the way. Great list. Let me see what's going on.
China's not on there.
It isn't, but you know what? I'm in JD and I'm in Baba. Those are the two China stocks I am in. You said I'm a little busy. That's a
Yeah.
couple of things that I'm buying right now. And you're going to ask me why? I mean, maybe a chart is self-explanatory to a degree. I am buying the best of breeds.
Yeah.
But the most important thing, coach, is what do you think?
Neutral.
No, I'm saying, why do you think I'm doing it?
Oh, because there's nothing but bearishness in China. Everyone.
That's number two. There's option flow going in.
Oh, that's right. The
And
sweeps out
and
give
there
you tells. That's
and there
right.
has been going in Baba. And it looks okay. It has been in JD. Like I say, I don't think it's going to pull a parabolic move like an AFRM or one of these China stocks. But for the same reason, like a crude move, like a crude
Yeah.
would be in their own. I think there's a reversion to the mean with those two. They're taking good flow. China is under-owned, and by the way, it's not something that if somebody had a gun to my head, and God forbid it was a do or die moment, and the guy says what's going to appreciate the most. I'm not going to chart out Baba or JD, but it's part of the portfolio. And as you can even see here,
That may be why people are going to the options on these issues they want to be there, but they want to go to sleep at night and not
well,
have an opening blow them out.
well, I can appreciate that. And fortunately for what I do is here, I'm blessed and liquid enough to where I can buy enough of the common stock
Yeah.
it is what it is, or else I'd be in options as well. Fortunately, I handle things enough where I can buy enough to make a
Okay.
difference across the board. Asset managers are now bullish on the Japanese yen for the first time since May. Coach thought you might have an interest.
I do. And
Okay.
what's that from?
Bar
And
chart.
who are the asset managers? Is that
I would say
I
CPAs.
okay? They say it's a source is CFTC. Maybe it's
Well,
the
actually,
commit.
all right. This is Bloomberg, right?
Yeah, maybe it's the commitment of traders report. Um, that's where they show the contracts of large specs, small specs, commercials.
Okay. Well, the reason
Anyway,
being, it may or may not be relevant, but I follow bar chart religiously
yeah,
on
yeah.
and they don't really post these type of. So when they don't really post, kind of it's a
Currency stuff.
yeah, it's a rare post
Okay,
cryptocurrency.
got it. Thank
There's
you.
Pelosi. There's the insider trading. I thought that was funny. Fear and greed. It's self-explanatory. This right here is a map. This is it. Percentage of stocks over their 520. And by the way, I want to digress. Even if this is something that you're not interested in, the data that I do put in here has something to do when there's smoke, there's fire. So you don't like this chart? The 5-day moving average is relevant. The 20-day moving average is relevant. These are relevant moving averages, even if you're
Yeah,
not interested. So what I'm saying is, for another example, if you're not interested in fear and greed, people are using this particular index for fear and greed.
yeah.
Maybe I'm going too far out of the box here. Credit default swaps cooperating. As a matter of fact, things are getting so healthy where it might just go the other way now. And Fed speak get a little bit shaky. That's it.
There. I mean, there. When you think about it, after Paul basically said, that's it, or the market at least interpreted it as a pivot, there's nothing in the way. What could possibly be in the way? That was the big headwind for over a year. So if that headwind's gone, I happen to disagree with our discussion we had about yields that,
As
it went
before mentioned,
away. it went away temporarily. He has a victory. You know, you could win a battle or two.
but not win the war.
That's right.
Yeah, I know. Believe me. That's when you're 5'6", you have to know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Short-term sentiment. All right, Friday's movers with range and value. I'm going to end with this, at least for this the routine. Just click
Okay.
it. These are the movers. These stocks move. Stock traded 94 million shares, and it had a 20 and had a 40. A huge. You're in it. Rocket
Yeah.
Lab. It was busy today. Riot. I traded it today. BT traded all these today. All traded it. Blink traded it. Dow traded it. Let's even go to the downside. Not that I shorted much. These are hot Carvana. It's negative today. It was up. It was up nicely. And by the
Yeah. I
way,
remember saying I was going to sell my car to them Thursday.
exactly. And
First
Carvana,
Majestic
FSM.
was lower. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
See, so that backs up my call for waiting for a pullback.
And you know what? It's going to make me wait for a pullback too, a little bit more on this new mining, coach.
Yeah.
Now it broke the 200-day to the downside. By the way, on the short-term trade this morning, I am selling it. There are my trades right here. 1,300 sold at 42.16. I sold
Yeah.
like 3,000 at 42.16.
That was a good trade, Mike.
I believe in it long term. I
I
would
know you
rather
do.
it come down, but I didn't want the mosquito bite in the short term trade in the trading account.
Yeah. And sometimes a mosquito bite could turn into a wasp. You
Coach,
never know what insect's going to land on the deal.
coach, the majority of my bad trades have started from the smaller positions.
Yeah.
Now, how often am I going to go in on a 20,000 share block? I am, but I'm going to watch it, and it's not like I'm going to walk away. The one start with 400 shares, you're down $1 in. Now you're down, you short 2,000 shares, you're down 3. It happened to me with A&F. All right, let's look what the wise guys are doing. By the way, A&F is negative today and somewhat nicely, but I digress. Not
Okay.
to put the whammy on it. Let's go to what they're doing because that really what matters, and then we'll go from there.
I'm surprised there's a lot of even,
Action,
yeah.
City, Riven acting well. Look at Riven now, coach. All right, I said Tesla was good. Now this thing looks incredible. Now it looks they didn't want it down here, coach, and we got it. Don't get me wrong, but look
Yeah.
at this. They didn't want it right here.
Yeah.
15s. Now it's flagging. Now even Tesla's peeking its head up. I'm getting the word.
Yeah.
Our QS had a bounce to the downside, now came back up. We're in that. Citibank taking some calls. All right, I get it. I mean, it's not. I mean, the market might be overbought, but I wouldn't short it. Might have another leg up. It might be the biggest move to the biggest on the way up. Maybe these guys add to it at the end of the year in the fund and take it to the 200-day, which doesn't look that much, but if you have a lot of it from 51.5 to say even like 52.5, 53, it's $1.50 on cities, a lot. Which by the way
Yeah.
brings it to like right here. So they're taking calls again, and they're taking huge calls, 2,000 at a clip, million dollar premium. I'll go
Well, I
back.
guess we don't have to worry about the health of the banks.
No, Riven.
Remember how worried I was in the spring and summer? I thought that we were going to keep having failures.
CF, here we go,
That
big cat.
saved it.
There we go. CF, more calls. Oh, I'd love to see this.
Yeah.
CF, they're taking the proper calls, and why shouldn't it? I'm a buyer across the board. Ollie,
I didn't look at the grains, but they sure
you don't
look
have to.
like
You
they're
can look at
turning.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
ADM,
nice
even
looking
even
chart.
this NTR. Remember, we had this conversation last. NTR was the best of the breed and the worst. CF was taking breed, and NTR actually popped a little bit too. NTR is flagging with calls, and that's the
How
old.
about that silver SSRM that you brought up that was taking calls last week? Is it doing anything? See?
No,
So, and what did I say last week on SSRM?
you said about the same thing of all the metals, just like you just did 5 minutes ago with 2 or 3 minutes ago with Newmont. They
Yeah,
probably
but this one it was even weaker. It had, this had an even weaker pattern, just making new lows during the month of December. So I'm thinking we make one more new low and you go for it. And the calls were at what strike? 12? Do you remember?
Oh no, I don't remember. I thought they were
That's
cheap.
okay. And they were March. They were going out to March. So plenty of time, I think, to, live through another new low because
You know
the
what?
new
And you know
low
what? Thinking
won't
that, coach,
confirm.
because I appreciate you bringing it up because we bring up option flow, but there are better trades. I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought that up. the majority of them, work or have time to matriculate. As coach says, they were going in March. But you know what? Citicorp taking 4,000 calls at the ask here in
Yeah.
January might be a
Yeah.
little bit more
One,
interesting.
you're bottom picking, one, you're trading continuation of a strong uptrend. So what do you want to do?
Well, with the VIX so low, you're going to have very few reversals. So stick with the trend. When the VIX is so low and there's little volatility, usually it means little reversal. Very few little reversals.
Yeah.
My poor mother with my vocabulary. Few reversals. So stick with the trend of what's working. If the ones that are going to reverse, do it with the huge volume and huge range, and then break a trend. No, this is not a time where I'm even thinking about. I'm not thinking about a firm. That already had its pullback here. You know what I mean? Now I'm
Okay.
not interested in the pullback anymore. ALT, another great looking stock this morning, still going higher. Looks great through the gap. That's a med stock. Let's go to my main screen here as we look. What's breaking high here? JD breaking low. We sold JD. I believe it's going higher long term. Look at the chart. I do forget about the chart. It's also taking option flow, but it wasn't acting that well. So here I am. I'm trying to build a position in the freaking thing. So finally, I blew out of it. What's my last price? This blew at 27.80.
I
Now
have
I
a
know.
blank screen there, Mike.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Here's
There it
JD.
is.
So
Okay.
JD looked like it's going. I sold. I'm going to buy more of it. Long term. But I was playing with it, and I really wanted to collar it because I thought it would really go. But the China stocks kind of down. Died down, and this is my basic screen to today. There are hot stocks. NIO. Tesla, like I said, oils are acting okay. There are the fins, XBI, the biotechs. Do they need a little rest? No question about it. There we go on
Uh,
the bios.
Buffett upped his stake in Oxy.
I know
Did you
that.
read that last
Yes, I
weekend?
did. And you know
Okay.
what? It says it because you know what? You can look at every other one. It says it. It's clear that he's buying. That's the only one he's buying. There's Exxon.
Yeah.
There's Chevron. The one I have it literally written here. Fund.
Okay.
The other stocks I'm buying today in the fund. FUND. It's called the TF fund. You can do the acronym. SU. Buying more in the fund. Oil. Outperforming. Everything in perform. RRC. I'm buying more RRC in the fund. Love it flagging like this. Considering that the other ones are poor. Devon, the
Yeah.
other Fang, the good Fang. Actually,
Yeah.
this is the one to buy, FANG.
Looks
That's the
good.
best of breed oil stock.
Yeah.
But I'm buying RRC. I put it in the room. I'm buying SU. I am buying some JD. I am buying some BABA. I already did. I'm adding to stocks like CF. I'm buying MAC, a REIT. Coach, hold on. Hold on. This is the daily. Let's go to the weekly. I like this thing here, pulling back into like the 13 and a half, $14 range. I'm buying this. It took a lot of calls. It's still taking the right calls, not the speculative calls. It's got it in it, coach.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
starting to build into this MAC, this REIT
Interesting.
here.
Yeah. That's an interesting
SC,
week last week.
building into BABA. SC, they're going into SC now, the reversion to the mean BABA, if you will. They're buying these calls left, right, and center, coach. They're even on the other screen here I'm looking at. So as you can see, I'm not buying Boeing on dips, or I'm not buying A&F on dips. Maybe I should. I'm buying the ones that, since the market's a little overbought here, and the ones that are taking proper rotation and option flow,
Mhm.
that's the ones I'm in. I don't see anybody backing Boeing up yet, and saying it
Well,
going,
last week they were, because you were
well,
bringing it up that, they were huge size buying Boeing calls
well,
last
they,
week. I remember you saying that. And I said, wow, after a run like this, and you go, yeah, they don't care. They just
maybe,
want them.
what? Maybe, probably, you know what,
Yeah.
coach? Probably. I'll have to look at that again. I'll have
Okay.
to look at my notes, but well put. Bottom line is that is what it is. All right,
All right, buddy.
okay, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of food for thought. Everyone, you're watching it. Mike is, one of the most active guys in the markets I know, so I'm not surprised with all the stuff he's doing this week. But just because Mike does it, if it's not your style and you want to recharge your battery, it's okay to take a few days off.
In other words, just because Mike jumps over the bridge, don't jump over the bridge with him.
Yeah, and well, Mike jumps over bridges and does
Land
flips
on my
and land,
feet.
and then he sticks the landing. So most people can't do that. They'd end up on their
The only
head.
one person I know of, and that's Arthur Fonzarelli when he jumped over
Yeah,
the dark in the barrels.
hey, Mike, let's end it with this. What do you call it when a guy goes from malt shop to malt shop and hits the uh, what is that thing? The jukebox.
Uh-huh.
Every time he goes into another malt shop. What do you call that?
A jukebox hero?
A Fonzie scheme.
A Fonzie scheme. Oh, okay. Well, good thing
Anyway,
good thing
that's
we
it.
both have day jobs because we wouldn't be doing our comedy.
All right, bro.
All right. Thanks for
Well,
tuning in, everybody. Remember, just like this, and if it's any end of anything, whether it's a Friday afternoon, whether it's the end of the month, end of the quarter, we're coming to the end of the year. You probably, if you didn't make your year now with the VIX, especially at this level, and if you're hoping for me to help you, it ain't gonna happen. So start
yeah,
building your plan, know what type of trader you are, start looking back. You know what I mean? In trading, let me just give one brief story. This will be back when in the old days. I'm going back 20, 25 years ago. I asked the my manager, I wanted to put a video camera with a tripod and tape at least half the day's trading as I'm trading so I can go over and watch the trading again. I didn't have privy to having my own screen or my own
right,
quotes. You know what I
right.
mean? So go over your trades. They work. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised over. And you know what? Even if when you go over your numbers, which I do, I do believe it. I went over them the other day, and I do that maybe once a quarter, once every 6 months, and I'm still standing, by the way. And I'm not drinking inshore. Is this? Stocks that work. Keep playing the same stocks that work. You have good luck with it. You good luck with it. You know what I mean? Stick with it. Stick with these things. They work over time. The reason why I probably should look over numbers more is because the larger the sample size, you would be shocked about how little over time your numbers will change in terms of win percentage unless you do something drastic. But at least know what you're doing so you can change it for the better and or worse. But the numbers will stay consistent. You'll see.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Journal, write it down.
I do it. It's listening. They make fun of me.
Write
I have
it down.
books and books and books.
There's a difference between speaking something, seeing something, and saying something.
Right.
So when it imprints on you, it's called neuro something. Anyway, my memory is failing me today. So anyway, have a good day, and I have some nice interviews lined up for January, and get ready for next year. And we hope you'll join us. It's free in TradeGATEHub, and we look forward to meeting new people and seeing you in the room.
Coach, yes, appreciate that. Why don't you send us over a list of the people so we can start marketing and put it out like Coach's schedule, at least tentative schedule so far for this month or this week. No, great idea, right?
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
It's too
So
much
that's
stuff.
that's a wrap, Mike.
Oh, that
Good
is
luck the
cheers.
rest of the day. I'll see you on Thursday.
Okay, cheers, guys.
Adios.